Chapter 1. What is structure? And as imagination bodies forth the forms of things unknown, the poet's pen turns them to shapes, and gives to airy nothings a local habitation and a name. William Shakespeare. Structure is one of the most important concepts for a writer to understand, and ironically, one of the least frequently taught. I have attended many writing conferences during my 3 decades as a professional writer, but the only time I've ever heard anyone lecturing on structure was when I was doing it myself. Since story structure is so important, why isn't everyone talking about it? Is this structure business a dark secret that only William Bernhardt and a small cult of red-sneakered weirdos understand? No, though that would be more fun. But many writers are reluctant to talk about structure for understandable reasons. Books and literature should be a realm that brings nothing but insight and reward, but unfortunately, for some, it has become a realm of snobbery and pretension. Consequently, writers become defensive. They fear that if they admit to any process or forethought in their writing, the hyenas will brand them as hacks. Outline? Oh, heavens no. What do you take me for, some penny-a-word drudge? Perish the thought. Artistes don't think about such mundane matters as structure and outlines. Or do they? You might well be confused. At one time or another, you've probably heard an author interviewed on television, or perhaps at a book festival. Do you recall any discussion of all the time they spend on structure? Or outlining? Or did you hear something like, "Oh dear me, no. Each day I sit down in my quiet, lonely writing garret with my quill pen, and I let my mind wander to a happy place of quiet creativity, and the muse rests on my shoulder and whispers in my ear, and the words bubble forth spontaneously"? Please. Why would you believe anything a fiction writer says anyway? These are people who make stuff up for a living. At this point, you may question whether the book currently in your hands is trustworthy, since it was written by me. Fear not, I am the one fiction writer who never lies. Here's the reality. Most professional writers engage in some form of pre-planning. They may or may not call it outlining, but for all intents and purposes, that's what it is. It may not involve the use of Roman numerals or indented subheadings, but that's still what it is. Author interviews can sometimes be fascinating for the insight they give into the origins of books or a writer's personality, but they are not reliable places to learn about the writing process. And that's unfortunate, because I don't think a writer can succeed without at least an intuitive understanding of the structure of stories. You might well wonder why the concept of writing from inspiration sounds so romantic and literary. Writing from inspiration usually translates to writing the first thing that pops into your head. While that might be more fun, it is less likely to lead to optimal results. I always tell my students to discard the first thing that pops into their heads. There's a reason why it came to you so quickly. It's not original. You've read it before, heard it before, or God forbid seen it on television. It's old hat, cliché. Throw it out and come up with something better. Which leads to another good reason to outline. To give yourself a chance to consider the big picture, rather than making it up as you go along. Bottom line, you need to get structure. Happily, you've come to the right place. Here in the Red Sneaker universe, we strip away the pretense and abstractions that do more to complicate writing than to illuminate it. In the Red Sneaker school, we provide down-to-earth advice designed to improve the quality of your work. That will not make your work formulaic or crush your creative spirit.